Hi, in this video, I'm going to teach you the easiest way you can create any major scale. My name is Marine and welcome to Online Rock Lesson. Alright, so we're going to start by talking about what is a half step and a whole step. So basically, the half step is the smallest distance you can have between two notes. So let's take an example. If we start on C, between C and C sharp, we don't have any other notes. So this would be a half step because this is the smallest distance between one and another note. If I go to F and F sharp, this is also a half step because we don't have any other note between those two. Between B flat and B, half step. Or B and C, it's also a half step because we don't have anything between those two. We cannot have smaller than these two notes. So now, a whole step is two half step. So from C, we say we have a half step here, another half step. So then between C and D, we have a whole step. From D, D sharp is a half step, sharp, E is a half step. So between D and E, this is a whole step. Another one, between G and A, we also have a whole step. We have half, and this is a whole step. Now, if I start from B and I go a whole step, I would get C sharp here. So this would get a whole step. All right, so now that we know what is the difference between a half step and a whole step, this is the major scale formula. We need one whole step, a half step, one whole step, one whole step, one whole step, and a half step. So let's take an example. We're gonna start on C. So we said a whole step, it goes to D. Another whole step, it goes to E. And then a half step, it goes to F, a whole step, to G, a whole step, to A, a whole step, to B, and we end with a half step to C. And there you go, you have the C major scale. And it sounds so familiar, like the major sound. This one has no black key because of the formula. There you go. But now we're going to start on G and see what happens here. So from G, we would have a whole step going to A, another whole step going to B, and then we have a half step going to C, and then a whole step to D, a whole step to E, a whole step here. So we cannot go here because this would be a half step. So a whole step, we need to play the F sharp. And we end with a half step on G. And this is how we play the G major scale. And now this is why every scale has a different key signature. Some has 2 sharp, 1 flat. It's all because of the formula and depending where to start on the keyboard. Let's do from D now. So D we have a whole step, a whole step. Oh, there we have an F sharp here. There you go. And then we have a half step going to G, a whole step, another whole step here would go to C sharp, and we end on a half step. And this is D major scale. So this one has 2 black keys instead of 1 for the G major scale. So it works from any note, and you're always going to be finding the major scale. So now that you know how to find any major scale, you need to be able to practice them because it's a very good technical exercise, and also because everything starts from a scale. These are just the foundation. So we create chords, we create songs, melody, everything starts from a scale. So let's look at an example you can do to practice your scale. So very easy. You could just practice those scales going up and down using 1, 2, 3, or 4 octaves here. So for C major, it would sound like this with 1 octave. And we go down. You need to make sure you have the right fingering though to play those scales. There you go. And maybe from G major I could do 2 octaves. And there you go. So make sure you practice those scales. A good way to do it would be to just pick one and practice the same one the whole week. Every time you practice on the piano, like every day, you practice 5 to 10 minutes of that scale. And then you make sure you know all the notes, the fingering, the key signature, everything about it. And then you move to the next one when you're good with this one. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel by clicking on the button below to never miss one of the new videos. Also, if you want to download 5 free technical exercises, just click on the link in the description below. So have a good practice!